Hi friends, welcome to my channel, and today in this video I am going to show you how to create SQL Server 2012 always on availability group by using Windows Server's failover cluster. So here is my environment which I am going to use in this demo. So before showing the all three virtual machine, I just want to show you the my physical machine configuration here. I'm using hardware information. You can see HP Compact Elite E300 CMT machine, and I have 32 GB RAM and around 3 GB hard drive in this machine, and the processor is i7. So this is my physical machine on which I have installed VMware Workstation 12 Professional to create a virtual machine. So here is my three virtual machine. Let's check out. The first machine is Win2K 12 DC01, which is my Active Directory domain controller, and my domain name is victorinfosol.com. Same, you can verify from machine, and you can check out the name Win2K 12 DC01 and my domain name, which is victorinfosol.com. And if you go to dashboard, is victorinfosol.com, and you can verify I have installed Active Directory and DNS role on this server. And next to server is my SQL node, which is SQL node 01 and 02. I have assigned 8 GB RAM to this both the SQL node. You can verify from here, and node 1, and here is my node 2, and both is joined to under my domain controller, which is victorinfosol.com. So basically this is the first machine where I have installed the uh, Windows Server 2012 R2 and with the 8 GB RAM, and I've done the basic configuration like rename computer, configure the IP address, then join machine in domain. That's all. So good to know about the configuration which we are using in demo. And let's step by step installation and configuration task for SQL Server 2012 always on. So the first thing is install and configure Windows failover cluster on both SQL nodes. So I'm going to do the first step. So make sure you are on SQL node and click on manage, add role and feature, click next. Here you have to select the role and feature based installation because Windows failover cluster is basically feature based. So click next. Here's your server, click next, and on the role page nothing to select. On a feature we have to select the failover clustering, add features, click next and install. So do the same procedure to install failover cluster on my second node, which is node 2, SQL node 2. So on the feature page click Windows clustering, click next and install. So it will install the failover. So the installation will take some time, so just wait for a few minutes here to get the installation done. Then we need to configure this cluster as well as, so just wait. So you can see the installation started. So installation is about 10% completed. It will not take too much time, less than 1 or 2 minutes to get the installation done. So check the status on SQL node 2 as well as. So installation is started. Almost done. So you can see the installation is done. Go ahead and close this, and now we have to configure the failover cluster. So installation is also done on node 2. So close the on both server and go, and under the tools you are able to find the failover cluster manager. Launch it. Then you need to create a cluster for SQL Server services. So here on failover cluster manager, right click and click on create cluster, and then you have to put the server's detail which you want to add in cluster node. So click next, and here click on browse and type the name SQL. So we will get the both node here, SQL node 1 and node 2. Click OK, and it's checking the server, so both node is added. Go ahead and click next. Now here is the option you want. If you want to run the configuration validation test, you can go with this option. No, I don't want to run any support from Microsoft cluster, and I don't want to run any validation test, so click next. And here's the cluster name, so I'm going to put here SQL cluster 01, and the IP address is like 250. I'm going to put 250 here. Click next, and then you're able to find the, we don't want to add any eligible storage, so here is the option, information, cluster name, node, and IP address. So go ahead and click next, and then it's creating the cluster for us. And if you want to see the cluster object, you just go to Active Directory users and computer, where the both node are hosted, so we are able to find the node cluster object here. So just under the servers, you can see here the object is created with the name SQL-cluster01, and under the description you are able to see failover cluster virtual network name account. So here the cluster configuration has been done, and we have successfully created one cluster by using the both node. And now we have to right click and go to more action. We have option to configure um, cluster quorum setting, and we are in this for SQL Server, I want to select the quorum witness as network shared drives, so file share. So I'm going to create the one object here in my C drive on domain controller, create a folder and call it SQL cluster 01 witness, and then go to properties, and under the sharing tab, go ahead and share this folder, and under the sharing permission put everyone full control. Now go to cluster security setting, and need to add all the objects like put the SQL. And first thing, we need to allow the user account which we are using to run the SQL Server services. And now I'm going to add the all the objects here. So computer object basically. So next, and we have all the three options here, both node and cluster object itself. So put the full control for cluster and both node, and apply the settings. So now you can see the node 02, node 01, and SQL account and the cluster itself have full control on the server. Now you can go ahead and configure the file server witness. Click next, and let's browse the path on file server which we have created in 2k12 dc01, and we have SQL cluster witness folder created, copied, and let's paste here and click next, and we are good to go to configure the witness. And you have successfully configured the quorum setting for cluster, so good to go. Click finish. And now the next task, we need to enable the firewall for SQL ports, which is 1433 and 5022. To do this, go to property like network sharing and security center, firewall. Under the advanced setting, we have option to add the ports, so inbound, and right click new, and we have to go to select the port, click next, and under the port we have to specify 1433 and 5022. Click next, and our connection, and put the name here SQL port ports, click finish, and same one to allow on my node 2 as well as advanced settings and inbound role, then right click and add the port years, SQL port and 1433 comma space 5022, click next, allow, so put name SQL ports, finished, and we have added the SQL port. And now the next task is need to install the, like, close the all window here, only left the server managers open, so good to go. And next task is install the SQL Server on both the servers, so let's do this. And I'm going to install the SQL Server node 01 only, and we'll follow the same step to install on node 2. So you have to install the on both nodes. So I'm going to mount the installation media for SQL Server 2012. So here is my ISO folder and SQL Server 2012, browse it. So the CD is SQL Server DVD is inserted in media, and I'm going to launch the installation setup. And yes, I want to run the 2012 setup. Please wait. So here is SQL Server Installation Center. Click on install and click on new installation SQL Server standalone installation and add remove existing feature. So click on it. It will launch the another installation wizard for SQL Server 2012. Just give some time. So it's preparing the wizard. Now you can see the some pre-request support files is running, like checking for administrator privilege, and there was no restart pending for this machine. So a few checks like .NET framework and these things. So everything looks good, everything is passed. So go ahead, click on OK button. So as this is a demo environment, I am going to use the evaluation mode. If you want to pull the product key for production use, then put the production product key here, and so click next. And now I accept the license term for SQL 2012 and click next. And now it's copying the installation file to local media, local hard drive. It will take some time. So now you can see it's running the final pre-request check for SQL Server 2012 setup. So just give some time this window. So everything looks good. We have some issues with warning with Firewall and ASP.NET. We can ignore this because we have enabled the firewall already. So SQL Server feature installation, click next. And here we have an option for the like feature. So and this installation we require only database engine services and the management pack for like management studio. So go ahead and click next, and now it will check for installations files. So installation file is good, click next. And instance, so we can change the default instance name if you want, but I'm going to use the default instance name, which is MS SQL Server, Microsoft SQL Server. Basically click next, and now it will check for disk space requirement. Definitely we will pass the disk space requirement as also, because we are have like 100 GB C drive space, so almost 88 GB free, so good to go. And here you can see the we have passed this page successfully, and now we have the server configuration where we have to define the user account name. So I have created like some service account which is basically with a password never expire option to run the SQL services. So I am putting the credential for my service accounts here to run the SQL Server related services. So click next. Now it's checking the credential. If you put it the credential, then you can definitely go to next. And here we have the SQL Server configuration database engine credential, like checking the by managing the SQL Server authentication. So I want to use the Windows authentication method, and go, good to know I have added my local account, which is SQL Server admin, which I have just logged in, which is my domain account. Click next. Now everything goes look, and we are finally done, and we can go and initiate the installation for SQL Server 22. So I have just showed you the all the step on node 1, and I have followed the same step. I have run the installation on node 2. You can see the almost 30% installation is done on node 2. And so installation for the 2012 SQL Server will take some time, like 10 to 20 minutes depending on the speed of your machine. So I'm pausing the recording here. Once the installation done for SQL Server on both the server, I will write back. So here you can see the installation is done for SQL Server 2012. Go ahead and close this window, and also close the SQL Server Installation Center. On node 2 also you can verify I have followed the same steps, and installation is done on node 2 as well as. So go ahead and close this, and now we have to configure like SQL Server. So the first thing, let's check out the things here. So I want to go and launch SQL Server Management Studio on node 2 and node 1 as well as SQL Server. Or you can click here and go and type SQL Server, then here it is, SQL Server Management Studio. So it will take some time because you are using launching the SQL Server Management Studio first time. So here you can see Microsoft SQL Management Studio is loading user settings. So we are good to go and connect on node 1. Now you can see the SQL Server services are running. So good to go and close this one right now. And now I'm going to define the SQL Server always enable the always on setting on SQL Server. So SQL Server Configuration Manager, node 1 first, and then we have to follow the same step of node 2 as well. So double click on SQL Server services. Here you can see the services. So click on properties, and we have option always availability group. Just you can see the Windows failover cluster name is also identified. Just enable the always on availability group, apply, and it's giving warning that we need to restart the service to take the effect. So I'm just restarted the service, and same, just verify the SQL Server connection is coming fine. So good to go. Close this, and now go to SQL Server Configuration Manager and enable the always on node 2 as well as. So here we are. Go, and cluster name is also identified. So apply, and until you restart and stop or restart the service. So good to go, and basically restart the service now, SQL Server. So starting services now. So service is restarted successfully on both the nodes, and now the next task is create a temporary database. So I'm going to create a temporary database first on any of the node. So I'm going to do it on my node 1 first. So just launch SQL Server Management Console, and we need to create a demo database and take the full backup. So let's do that. Just on the database, right click and new database, put the name of database, like put here demo, and click OK. So now you can see the database is created with the name demo, and you can go ahead and right click on the database, and under the task you have option backup. So click on backup and run the backup. So basically this is a prerequisite for like enabling the high availability, so and always on. So the backup of database demo has been completed successfully, so we are good to go. And now we are going to create a like always availability group on node 1. So let's do it. So let's do the next task, which is create a always availability group on node 1. So let's do that. Here you can see the always availability group. So right click on it and new availability group wizard. So we have put the name which you want to use to create an availability group. So SQL always on, go with this name only and click next, and then we have a database which is meets the prerequisite. So good to know, click next. Now we have the one node here, and click add replica, and then put the node 2 details like the name of node 2 and click connect, and you see we are able to log into node. And now if we click the like next button, then we have a like selection of synchronization preference. So joint only, skip initial data sync, or full. So I'm going to create a one network share folder to access the all replicas on my DC only. So on a C drive I'm going to click SQL always on, and I'm going to provide the security and share permission to this folder. So under the share advanced setting, click on share this folder, and everyone give the full share permissions. Now go to security and put the edit, and here you can put this first user account which is SQL admin, and provide the full access to this account. And now I want to provide the full control to my nodes as well as. So type the SQL. If you check, we have the three things: node 1, node 2 and cluster as well as. So give the full control to all the nodes. Now let's just verify the things. Node 2 have full count, and SQL cluster have full control. So good to go. And now if just browse the path on share, so here we have folder, and copy the path and put it on like always on, and click next. And now you can see just checking the prerequisites, everything is successful. So just we did not configure listener. We can, if you want, you can configure the listener, or you can go with the same configuration. And here is the script. If you want to save the script, you can save the script as well as. So good to go, and just click on finish. Now you can see the like setup is running and everything is done. The wizard completed successfully, and now you can see the availability group is created here, always on. And if you want to see the detail, just right click and go to show dashboard, so it will give you the like option. So always on hosted on node 1 and replica role primary. So this is done. We have created successfully. And now if you want to verify the like we just verified the database availability from dashboard, and now if you want to perform a failover to due to maintenance on any other task on any of the SQL nodes, so you can perform this. Like if you want to fail over this always availability group from node 1 to node 2, just you can go here and click on failover, and now click next, and you have to select the node on which you want to fail over. So here you can see that everything looks good. So we have failover readiness, no data loss, and click next and check the connection. Yes, we are able to connect with our account which we have logged in currently. So click next and finish. So you can see the data is being migrated from like active host change. And now if we go here and click on like dashboard, if you close this one and go here and show dashboard, it will give you the option like node 1 replica is node 1 is now secondary and node 2 is now primary. If you click on here node 2 primary instance, you can see the replica is role is primary on node 2. So the basically the database has been migrated, and the always availability group is now hosting this database which is demo on node 2 as a primary and node 2 as a secondary. So you can see that everything is status here also. So thank you for watching, and please subscribe me for more videos, and if you have any query, any question related to this, please post me on my given mail IDs. Thank you once again. Bye bye.